Right, so you can see my screen here. Okay, again, just a quick recap. Now, recognize that heat is a form of energy. Okay, then you must know the common sources of heat, understand that temperature is actually a measure of degree of hotness. You must know what is the difference between temperature and heat. Yeah, so heat sources, okay, they are natural sources like the geysers, the sun, the volcano. Okay, there are also fuels that we burn, like coal, petrol, or even wood, right? Then electrical appliances, the iron, the hairdryer, oven, they all give out heat. Okay, heat is also generated when there's friction. Okay, so when one surface rubs against another surface, you can have heat generated. So anything that can produce heat, we'll call them a heat source. Okay, most light sources are also sources of heat, right? This is actually one of the flow charts. So you can see what are the uses of heat. Okay, so uses of heat is very useful to us. And of course, there are times it serves to be not so useful. For example, when we want to actually keep things cool, right? But there's a lot of heat around, our ice cannot remain in the solid state. Okay, our ice cream cannot stay frozen, etc. So they are also the bad part of heat, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so you can't say that it's always good. It can be detrimental also. It can be harmful to us if it's not used well. Okay, so these are the notes that I think we already went through some parts of it. We discussed a little bit here and there. Yeah. Okay, so if you can read this on your own, that will be good. Okay, now, what is the difference between heat and temperature? Did I go through this last week? I did, right? Yeah, so we talk about, okay, what is heat? What is temperature? Then we learn how to measure temperature. Yep. But then, to talk about heat, okay, how is heat being measured? Of course, you need to be able to know how it's actually being measured. Okay, but for temperature, right, you are very familiar with two types of thermometer. Okay, have you used the thermometer in the science lab? Anyone? Okay, so in your science lab, right, how is the thermometer this short or the thermometer is way longer? Have you seen the temperature range that it can actually measure? Did you notice? Anyone? Yeah, what is the range? Anyone knows? Type into the chat. Yeah, everybody say way longer. Yeah, way longer. You use the laboratory one in the science lab. But are you able to tell me what is the temperature range? The lowest, okay, the marking on the thermometer. Anybody notice that? Very good. See how? Dan, how do you know? You took note, is it? Well done. Okay, it's actually between -10 to 110. Okay, if you didn't realize that, it's actually from -10 to 110. The next time you go to the school science lab and you get a chance to use the thermometer, take a look at the temperature range again. What about the ones that you use to take your own temperature? In school, you have to do it. I think not too long ago, you took temperature again, right? And those people without the thermometer, oh dear. Okay, when you don't bring the thermometer, you will get certain reminders, correct or not? Okay, what are those thermometers known as? What are those thermometers known as? Okay. Waiting for your, somebody put in clinical. Clinical. Okay. If I were to show you, clinical thermometer, how it looks like, okay? You can see on... Can I repeat the question? You know, the thermometer you use in school to take your own temperature? Since the COVID period, we are always taking temperature already, right? Correct or not? Yeah, what is that known as? I think it's because of the screen, right? You're looking at my screen. What thermometer is that? Okay. Temperature taking day. Thank you, Evan. That's the day you are using it. What is that thermometer known as? Wow. How do I read your name? Ren Yu. Do I read your name this way? Ren Yu or Ren Yu? Ren Yu. Okay. Who is W? May I know? Let me see. W, I need to take your attendance.
Chloe.
Chloe. Okay. Can you rename yourself? Yeah. So at least I know who you are. Okay. Chloe is here. Now, okay. Very quickly, I need to check. Is Gordon here? Sarah and Teja are here, right? Okay. I think Gordon is not here. I don't see him. Am I right? Yeah. Correct. Teja is digital thermometer. Very good. Now, if you look at the slides again, okay? If you look at the slides again, now, in fact, this is not the clinical thermometer. The clinical thermometer should be this one. Okay? Clinical thermometer is this. This is the digital thermometer. All right. And then if you talk about laboratory thermometer, it is the very long type. Okay, I think there's a slight error here. Don't worry, I'll get them to make the change, okay? So because I'm very familiar with this, so I have to show you. Right, why is that so? Remember I told you I have taught in the secondary school for a long, long time, right? So we work with thermometers all the time. Okay, and this is how you probably can agree with me. This is the one that you are using in school. Okay, can you see this one with the red color? Yes or no? How many of you know this? Okay, this red one. How many of you know this? Okay, it's red in color, isn't it? How many of you still have the silver thread kind of thermometer? Let me know. Do you have those that have the silver colored liquid inside? Anybody? I hope not. Teja, yours have. Your school is still using that, is it? Okay. Now, okay. You have two types. Okay, the silver one, we don't encourage the use of it anymore. Why is that so? Because the one with the silver liquid, that liquid is mercury. Okay, so usually you see the one with the red colored fluid. Okay, if it's silver liquid inside the thermometer, right? This silver liquid is actually mercury, and mercury is very harmful. Why? The moment you touch mercury, what happens? Okay, the mercury can even go through your skin and go inside your body, and it will never leave your body. All right? Yes. So that's why the moment you touch mercury, you still have got some hope. Why? Tell the teacher or the lab assistant, they will give you this yellow powder to rub on your hand. Yeah, Evan, don't touch it. Okay, it looks very cute and shiny, so lovely. Okay, when it's on the table, right, it's like a tiny little blob. Okay, roundish. It's not like water that will be flat, no. It's like a round thing, round little ball on the table. So there are some people who got interested, the kids, they go and touch it. But the mercury that comes in contact with your hand, it can enter. Yes, Zihao actually showed something. If I can show you what Zihao showed me, yeah. I'll let you all see. It is interesting because you need to know how to keep yourself safe. This is mercury. Very pretty, isn't it? So shiny, right? But it's not good for you. In fact, this person who touches mercury like this, he is in great danger. He must immediately put sulfur powder, the yellow powder, okay, to prevent the mercury, or reduce, cannot say prevent anymore, reduce the amount of mercury that enters your body. Okay, so don't touch mercury. How come they come into contact with mercury? It's because they drop the thermometer, or they are not careful when handling thermometer. So imagine this is thermometer, right? When they put on the table, they put it onto the table with too much force. And then right at the end, right, where you have the bulb of the thermometer, it cracks easily. Yeah, and then the mercury flows out. That's how it happened. Okay, so what is this red color trap? What is the red color thing inside? Okay, if you see the red color liquid, it's actually alcohol. Okay, alcohol with red coloring. Alcohol is safe, so even if you break the thermometer, you touch it, it's not going to harm you. Okay, so you understand a bit more now? Yes, correct. See how? Okay, so if you are following me, it's good. Okay, I will make sure this is changed before it's uploaded. Okay, the thermometers here need to be changed before it's uploaded into the portal for you to download as notes. Can? So don't take this down yet. Okay, let's come to our question. If you look at question 1, now I changed a little bit here and there. Evan, why they put red coloring is because if you do not have the red coloring, it's colorless. How do you actually read the temperature easily? Right? Let me show you something. You look at my screen here. I'm glad you asked. I think it's worth talking about this. Okay, can you see this one? Imagine this is the colorless alcohol. Do you think you can read the temperature easily? Cannot, right? Because everything seems to be white in terms of the background. But when there's a red color liquid inside, this is the alcohol. This is the alcohol that is stained with red color. You can read the temperature easily. In this case, it says 25 degrees Celsius. Can you see that? All right. Eden, can you see this, Eden? Can, You respond to me, you put up your finger like this or thumb like this, also can. Can, Eden? Yes, the rest of you, good. Thank you. Now, back to our worksheet. Did I answer your question? Evan? Good. Okay, so you have same amount of liquid X, which are at different temperatures. They are placed into 2 identical cups, okay? So a metal spoon is placed into each of the cup. Temperature of the spoons were measured after 5 minutes. So before the experiment, the spoons are at room temperature. After that, you see the spoon that is placed in cup A becomes hotter. That means what? It has gained heat. Whereas this one, all right, once you put the spoon in, it becomes colder. It has lost heat. So if it has lost heat, right, what do you think is the liquid temperature inside cup B? Heat always flow from a hotter place to a colder place. Agree? Heat always flows from a hotter place to a colder place. So if let's say you started off with, the spoon at 30 degrees, the liquid must be very cold, isn't it? The liquid must be very cold such that the heat energy will flow